Apollo Hospitals. The company beat estimates. Before we chat with the management about more details, let's get in my colleague Hiral with the earnings fine print. Hiral, over to you.
Thank you so much, Neeraj. Absolutely an interesting quarter. The stock also at the day's high, 6.5% as a solid move on the counter. The company has beat estimates. The margin expansion has mainly been led by the Healthco company. If you talk about the losses, they've reduced in the 24/7, and that is what has aided margins as well this time around. And the hospital business has seen margin expansion as well. If you talk about the realization per patient, that has seen a growth of around 9% on a year-on-year basis. Yes, good for the business, but not good for the patients overall. And if you talk about the Healthco, that has turned PAT positive in the first quarter. So all of these are good signals and good points that one needs to note as well. Very quickly, if you see in terms of segments, healthcare services revenues have grown around 11%, your AHLL has grown around 19%, and GMV of Apollo 24/7 has come in at around 682 crores. They've announced expansion of around 700 beds as well in 2 phases in Bangalore. To discuss more, let's get in Suneeta Reddy, Managing Director at Apollo Hospitals, to discuss more. Ma'am, good morning and welcome to the show, and always a pleasure to speak to you at NDTV Profit. A strong set of numbers have beat street estimates. What are the key factors that you would attribute to this strong performance? And are you confident in sustaining this kind of momentum throughout FY26?
So in terms of, I am extremely confident that we can sustain the momentum because we grew by 15%, total revenue of at 5,835 crores, and total EBITDA also grew to 835 crores and PAT at 433, so 42% growth in PAT. These are numbers that are sustainable. Here, Apollo Healthco came in with very, very strong numbers, a growth of 19% in total revenue at 2,735 crores. So clearly good revenue growth. More importantly, EBITDA also grew at 97 crores and resulted in profitability, which was significant in terms of contribution, which was at 57 crores. So this is from Apollo Healthco. Apollo Health and Lifestyle also showed strong growth, 435 crores of revenue, with EBITDA also flowing down to 40 crores. And this is where we have potential for growth because of the negative PAT of 8 crores. But this is sustainable momentum for this group. And healthcare services continued its strong growth with revenues of 2,935 crores and 714 crores of EBITDA. So 17% growth in EBITDA and 20% growth in PAT, which came in at 433.
Right, so that's with regards to the overall numbers. You mentioned about the margins as well. Are you expecting further margin improvement in the coming quarters? And how should we look at this trajectory given a couple of new units are coming up in FY26 and beyond?
So as we look at the future, I think the most important thing for hospitals is that we will continue to focus on volumes. As we focus on volumes, we will see that operating leverage improve and therefore EBITDA margins improve. Currently, hospital services were at 24.3% EBITDA margins, which is an 88 basis point improvement over last year. And I'm quite confident that with higher volumes, we should be able to increase this. We also had an improvement in ARPP of 9%, which our ARPP now stands at 1,72,000. So there is a 9% improvement in ARPP coming from both tariff, payer mix and case mix.
Right, so that's a positive one we are looking at from a margin improvement perspective. Now, let's talk about the expansion that you've looked at. 700 beds in Bangalore, which takes the total to 1,500. What are the timelines that you're looking at in terms of execution?
So we will, in the third quarter, we will open 150 beds. In the following year, we will add another 150 beds, which will come in Sheshadipuram. And 2 years later, new hospital in Sajapur, which is a 300-bed hospital.
Okay. Ma'am, with the 4,400 beds that are planned over the next 3 to 4 years, you're using various models, acquisitions, brownfield, greenfield. What is the way you're looking to prioritize these projects? And are there specific regions or types of facilities that are currently, a higher focus for expansion?
Yes, totally. We are very focused on, gaining market share, number one, in all of the markets we are present in. The second is coming from, expanding our presence in the north, which is New Bombay, opening a hospital in Pune by the end of the year. So clearly looking at the west and Gurgaon in the north.
Okay, so that's the regional expansion as well, and becoming number one in terms of market share. That's a strong one. Overall, Apollo Healthco's overall revenue has grown 19%. Now, with digital platform also seeing a growth of 23%, what are the strategies you're employing for further increase in terms of user engagement and stickiness when it comes to Apollo 24/7?
So in Apollo 24/7, we are very focused on the unit economics of all the lines of revenue, which include online pharmacy, where we're seeing a growth of 50, we have, daily active users improve by 55%, but also seeing that doctor consults have grown. Added to that, we have diagnostics, which has also grown. The fourth is insurance, where they have a license to deliver it for insurance broking, and in this space they've registered a GMV of 5 crores, and with a target of delivering at least 10 to 15 crores of revenue by the end of the year. So if you look at the unit economics, I think that all the lines of business have done well, and going forward, they will ramp up by another 20%.
Okay. And staying with 24/7, some of your competitors have actually tied up with quick commerce platforms to deliver medicines in 10 to 15 minutes. How do you see competition ahead of your e-pharmacy business right now?
Not for the entire e-pharmacy business. I think some of them, which is the FMCG goods, there is a little bit of competition. But having said that, they've already established a 19-minute delivery platform in all of the urban cities. So in a way, they have ring-fenced their consumers.
Okay. And when it comes to hospital growth, if you could guide us on how we should look at the growth for the current fiscal overall.
So the current fiscal, we are looking at about 13 to 14% growth coming from existing hospitals. Like I said, volume growth, which will give us operating leverage as well. Added to that, you can look at another 10% growth coming in the next 4 years, which will come from new capacity addition. So clearly, a CAGR of above 15%.
Okay, so CAGR of 15% in terms of hospitals. When it comes to AHLL, that is Apollo Health and Lifestyle Limited, how are you looking at growth here? Because again, first quarter has been strong. And with diagnostics and Spectra coming in, what is FY26 looking like?
Yes, all engines are firing because they are three verticals and they have to fire. I think for AHLL, the focus is clearly on diagnostics, which has grown by 31%. And I think that it will continue to grow. There's a huge opportunity. This is a space where an unorganized play and having the structure that we currently have in terms of physical presence as well as online should enable growth for all of the verticals.
Got it. When it comes to the demerger, I know we are aware of, what is getting demerged, the three new entities that will come in. If you could give us an update on the same, where are we right now?
So the Healthco restructuring process has started. It's already been approved by the board, and the process will take 2 years before Healthco gets listed as a separate company.
Right. And very lastly, what is it for the shareholders post the demerger? What are the synergies that you're looking at?
as you look at Healthco and the growth that we're currently seeing, it's both omni-channel physical pharmacies and online. And when this company gets listed with the integration of the back end, which is KeyMed, you will see huge value uplift where every Apollo shareholder will get 1.96 shares of Apollo Healthco when the when it gets listed in about 2 years.
Yes, so lots to watch out for from here on. But thank you so much for joining us on the show and sharing that update with regards to FY26 and the outlook for the demerged entity as well, the stock trading at the day's highest levels.